I've been getting a lot of questions about fulfillment from my team. They just don't know how to do it. They don't understand it. It's confusing to them. And so I thought I would walk through and show you a quick video, on how to use Shopify to check out fulfillment. So what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna go to Shopify, talk about the fundamentals of fulfillment, and then we're gonna go to ShipStation, talk about the fundamentals of fulfillment there and how you would cross-check the two. Now in the video, we'll blur out our order information just for customer sensitivity, etc. But we'll show you the general columns and the steps you can take. And then also my thought process around how you would want to be managing customer service and fulfillment. All right. So look, you go to orders in Shopify store, you're gonna see all these orders, right, that come through. And basically any that are marked unfulfilled, they're gonna have to get fulfilled. And that's really gonna depend on how and what sort of agreement you have with your third-party fulfillment center, or if you do your own fulfillment, God forbid, it's how you approach it. So this is going to basically the source of truth on what's going on with the orders. And you can see in some cases we void out orders, or maybe they're just having issues and we're dealing with canceled orders, whatever, something that might have failed. But you can see basically everything's really looking clean and in order with my team. They're in transit, there's tracking added. You don't see a lot of like orders hanging here. These are all from like yesterday after our fulfillment cutoff. If you have an issue and you're trying to get organized or sort through your orders and your situations there, here's how we approach it. And we use ShipStation, which is one of the most common third-party logistic type softwares. Now, we used ShipHero before. I'm not going to do a review comparison because personally, I'm not experienced with ShipHero. I can tell you it messed us up and there were weird bugs in ShipHero. And we had no one to go to for support on ShipHero. ShipStation has phenomenal support. You call them, they answer within 5-10 minutes. You get a real person in America who solves your problem. So that is worth its weight in gold, especially if you're starting to scale and you're doing a lot of orders, several thousand a month. Then it really messes you up if you have fulfillment issues and you can't figure it out. So for that reason, we moved away from ShipHero, even though my VAs at the time preferred ShipHero. I think now they all like ShipStation and trust it. So when you log into ShipStation, you're going to set up your own stamps.com. That's how you pay for your postage. And then you're going to go into, your orders. And this is not a setup video, so I'm just kind of showing you as you go through. So you'll have your item SKU, your item names, and then typically your quantities will be over here. This all feeds in and connects directly from your different sales channels. So you're going to have integrations on ShipStation that come through. And all these integrations that you set up and connect are going to basically allow you to feed in stuff. So you can see selling channels. We have Amazon store, Shopify store, TikTok shop, and then manual orders. So anyways, you're going to live in kind of two places if you're working on customer service or you're dealing with fulfillment and you're kind of actively in the trenches doing this stuff. So the first place you're going to go is just orders. You're going to be checking customer service against the orders that are coming in on Shopify. And likely, if you watch my other video about customer service, it'll sync and you can click right to the inquiry. So if a customer emails you, it'll match their email, pull in the Shopify order, and you can just click over to the order and pull up the order. But say you had to manually look it up, well, it's pretty easy to do that as well. You just copy and paste the email. And then in Shopify, you can find them and typically it'll link it up to an order. In this case, we have a person who bought multiple times from us. So they bought in November, they bought in April. It's a successful Submit brand, so you get repeat customers. And she's got 2 orders here. But as an example, it's unfulfilled. She just bought. So I'm going to come in here and look at the order. And in ShipStation, typically, there's kind of 2 plays to take here. I don't recommend the first one I'm going to explain because this is what happened to us. You can have your 3PL use their own ShipStation account, and then ShipStation will push your stuff through to their account. Now, if you cancel orders in your account, we found out the hard way over about 6 weeks that it doesn't cancel when it pushes through. Once the order gets pushed through once, it's pushed through and then that's it. It will not overwrite even if you cancel. So what happened to us is we had a huge mess. We had to come through and so what happened to us is we actually had a period of time for about 4 to 6 weeks where orders came through. We thought we were canceling them in our ShipStation account. They would write to the ShipStation account with our 3PL, and then they would not get canceled, but we would refund the order and ship it out. And that was a mess. So anyways, long story short, don't do that. with your ShipStation account, make sure you're super clear with your 3PL and ideally give them a login. They come into your account, one source of truth, one account login. Don't trust the API talk on ShipStation. As of April 2025, we had major issues syncing to the other account. So do not do that. In my experience, you can get all your sales channels in here. You can sync them, Amazon, TikTok Shop, Shopify, and direct orders. And it works very, very well. Now, here's what you need to know on the panel side. On the left-hand side, you've got your different integrations here. And then you've got your different, if you have multiple brands that you're shipping through on one account, which is certainly fine, you'll have those as well in here. You have places where you can add, you might have your settings for people, and then you have orders. That's really where you're kind of searching for orders. And really there's only a few places you're gonna deal with stuff. So whenever you're updating things, I recommend go make your changes in Shopify first and then reload ShipStation. And not just reload here, but go up to the top on the side here and resync. Resync from Shopify, for example. If this order, for example, right now is sitting in awaiting shipment and it moves to, or say it wasn't in awaiting shipment. Awaiting shipment is where we want orders to go. They go to shipped. So some of them, we have like awaiting payment or it's on hold. There's an address error, something like that. In this case, we don't have any orders on hold and we have nothing awaiting payment. So our team has cleared out all of our orders, but this will pile up. It has piled up for me in the past. And so if you're not on top of it, you'll have issues. Rejected fulfillment, that'll happen. And again, we are really on top of it right now, but if we weren't, it would be a big, big problem. So that's something to keep in mind. Pending fulfillment, I think this was a feature when they had the 2 API syncs, meaning we weren't giving our 3PL our shipping account. So in this case, that's not the case. We don't see any orders showing up in pending fulfillment. Where if like we weren't sharing a login to our ShipStation account, we were actually using the API Connect to go to our 3PL's ShipStation account, then we would see orders piling up in pending fulfillment until they take them. We don't see that because we give our access. And then they really, all we see is awaiting shipment. And that's across all the channels. Assuming everything looks good, it's good to go. Now, there's a couple things I'll mention to kind of close this video out when you're dealing with shipping. First, if there's an issue with the address, I like to validate it in here and I'll kind of jigger it around and I might edit it slightly, change the street to ST. If there's like street east, I might put East Street, East, Front Street or something versus Front Street East, and then hit validate. And that'll usually kind of help rejigger things. If there's a problem with validation. The other thing I like to look at is the postage, right? You want to make sure your postage is reasonable. So in this case, we have 3 bottles for $7.67, and that's about a pound and a half, a pound and 6 ounces, 1.25, 1.3 pounds. That's reasonable. It's going to Minnesota from like the Rockies. So it's not like it's a super big distance, but it's a distance. So yeah, that's an option there to check. Basically, you can change your shipping by playing around with this, and you can kind of hit the drop down here. Sometimes you'll see orders will show up here and you need to actually change it to payment submitted. Like if you had an order go on hold or the payment didn't go through and it got kicked into the status up here of on hold or awaiting payment, for example, and sitting here, and then you do a resync and it doesn't update and go into awaiting shipment, then you just need to, kind of jigger things manually at the order level. And there'll be a button here to kind of like remove hold and resubmit. Now, the other thing too that might happen is the shipment gets lost. And so the last kind of thing that you'll do is like an order gets shipped, but it's been sitting in the USPS and it gets completely lost. And so you come in here and let's just grab an order, right? And click on it. And let me see if I can remember how to do this because I haven't done one in a minute. We're going to reship. This has to be delivered first, by the way. All right, my freaking battery went out on the camera. I'm fully juiced now. But what was I saying? So a couple issues, like if you want to reship a product or something like that, you're going to have to find one that's already been delivered. So let's go down to the next page and find ones that are a bit older. Let's just go back to Shopify and we'll pull up an order and let's just find one that's in transit and failed delivery, right? So let's go to the one that is right here in yellow, where the tracking number says failed delivery. It shipped on the 3rd, it's the 5th, and it's only been 2 days, but it failed delivery. They'll probably reattempt it. So I would legitimately would not reship this for at least a week, probably 8 days, you know? But in this situation, we can search this order. And I'll just show you an example of how in ShipStation, you can reship. So again, shipped. And now we can hit this button, green button here, and go click, reship. This will not affect the existing order and it'll create a clone. And then we can basically generate a reshipment. So it's pretty well integrated when you're working with ShipStation. My experience, this is super clean. I really enjoy it. The other thing that's great is if you go to products, and you go to your inventory section, you can track your inventory here very cleanly. And so that's super nice. These numbers get deducted with each bottle that they ship out from the warehouse. So that is a primer in fulfillment and inventory. I knew nothing about this 6 weeks ago, and I learned everything you could possibly imagine. I don't want to say that. I learned a lot about this in the last 6 weeks. I spent the better part of the first part of March, a month ago, learning it all from start to finish and just kind of figuring out how to sort it out. But now I've got my game on. I know how to do this. And you'll see in future videos, we can talk about other things too. Just comment below if you have real specific questions and I can steer the conversation operationally towards those. But the other thing to talk about in the future is going to be the inventory tracking. We did a bit on customer service. I'm still working on polishing. Hopefully that video comes out polished. I know it's in the middle of editing right now, so as I'm recording this video. But when we drop the inventory tracking video and then also bookkeeping, which is going to be a game changer, I'm learning so much about bookkeeping. You're going to know so much. Like, then we'll probably circle back to attribution. There's just so much we can talk about on the attribution side as I explore. So anyways, want to keep you posted on where I am in the stage of things. Hopefully this is helpful. If you like this video, definitely hit the subscribe button and drop a comment below and let me know what kind of value you want to see in the future. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.